This amorphous little blob may not look like much, but it's been making headlines recently. The proper name is Psyche 16, and it was discovered in 1852 by the astronomer Annibale de Gasparis. But the reason that it has the world's attention these days is that NASA recently granted a contract to SpaceX to explore this rock in the very near future. The mission is expected to launch almost exactly 1 year from the release of this video, in July of 2022. The more sensational reason that people are clamoring about this rock is that the surface is thought to be over 90% metallic, including large amounts of precious metals such as silver, gold, and platinum. Some estimates have placed the value of this rock at $10 quintillion. To put that number in perspective, the entire global economy is currently valued at $142 trillion. In other words, you could spend all the money in the world every single day for almost 200 years. Except that isn't really how the market works. Because if gold or platinum ever really did hit the market in anything near those quantities, all it would really do is make gold worthless. And to illustrate that point, let's jump back in time to 1855, just 3 years after Psyche 16 was discovered. Napoleon III was on the throne in France. By the way, this is what he looks like, and if you ask me, he looks like all the characters from Deadwood rolled up in one. Anyway, Napoleon III was fond of throwing fancy banquets to show off his wealth. In the most popular version of this story, the guest of honor was the King of Siam. We'll ignore the fact that the first Siamese king to ever visit France was not until almost 40 years after this story was rumored to occur. At this banquet, according to the Russian author S. Vinetsky, the more illustrious guests were given the honor of eating with aluminum spoons and forks. The less honorable ones had to do with common gold and silver sets. This was by no means a slight against the guests. You see, back in the 1850s, aluminum was considered a precious metal, even more than gold and silver. And because it was championed by Napoleon III, it was popular with the upper echelon of French society, being used for jewelry and even Crown Prince Louis Napoleon's baby rattle. And France wasn't the only place where it was highly valued. When the designers of the Washington Monument wanted something truly special to commemorate the first president of the US, they chose to make the cap out of 6 pounds of pure aluminum, the largest piece that had ever been used at that time. In 1884, the price of aluminum was about $16 per pound. By comparison, gold was about $20 per pound, and all of the workers in this photo were paid about $1 for one 10-hour working day. Just 2 years later, chemists Charles Hall and Paul Hérault came up with a cheap process to refine aluminum at industrial scale. Although this was a major boon for industry, as it allowed the manufacture of airplanes, metal tools, and building materials, it also caused the price of aluminum to tank. The cost per pound went from $16 in 1884 to a mere 78 cents per pound by the 1890s. Here's a graph showing the drop in aluminum price, and a corresponding graph showing the increase in aluminum consumption through manufacturing. As hard as it is to imagine now, if asteroid mining becomes a reality and precious metals start hitting the market by the ton, we may one day be wrapping our leftovers in sheets of gold or drinking soda from cans made of platinum.